Hi there, this is Joe from SquareXO, and this is SquareXO episode 68. Today I'm joined by Rebecca.
Hello.
No one else is here this week.
No one else.
Rebecca's wrecking her house in the background. Or is it Jack's house? You're wrecking somebody's house in the
Yeah, it's
background.
not my house.
Anyway. That's okay then. Recky's house. Throw something out the window, rockstar.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that bit of destruction from Rebecca, we're ready to start. So before we do, don't forget you can follow us on squarexo.co.uk, on twitter.com/square_XO, and you can back us on patreon.com/squarexo. Get an awesome mug that you can see behind me, and badges, t-shirts, whatever you decide to back it as, you'll get some sort of wonderful prize, and you also get to back us and support the site, so that's brilliant. If you want to listen, we're on Podbean, iTunes and Spotify. Of course, you can watch on YouTube, as you may be doing now. So yeah, that's all good. So we'll go on with that. And one more thing, be sure to check out our website, because all the latest reviews is on there. We've posted 3 reviews today alone, and there's been absolutely tons over the past few weeks actually. So from all our different contributors, who I'd like to thank, by the way, because they're all doing a brilliant job, all our new contributors, so thank you very much. Okay, so let's get on with it. The gaming news. Okay, let me just get my notes up because I'm unorganised as usual. So let's have a look and see. Today we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bits of gaming news. So that's good, quite a bit. And the first one is actually an Xbox story. But hey,
Okay.
I don't normally include Xbox stories since our PlayStation podcast, but I figured this one sounded quite interesting, so I thought I'd mention it. An all new Xbox hardware is to be shown off at Gamescom via the Inside Xbox video. Given that they're showing as Inside Xbox, don't know if you saw it before, but basically it's a show that they do.
Yeah.
That they have, and it's quite interesting. They're going to show off all new hardware and accessories. What could all new hardware be?
I know.
Accessories to me is controllers and stuff. Hardware is hardware a controller?
I would have said hardware is more like a console, but surely they don't have the authority to just be like, oh, here's next year's console. Surely that's left down to, big conferences like Paris Games Week and E3 and stuff. So I don't know.
I guess a controller could be hardware, but I would class that more as accessory, because you can't. Would you think it's accessory? A controller?
Yeah, I'd call it an accessory.
I would,
definitely.
Because Eurogamer says they reckon it could be the previously leaked Xbox Elite 2 controller. Which has got snazzy things on it, like USB-C charging and Bluetooth, amongst other things. But I would class that as an accessory.
I would as well.
Because you can't use it without something.
Yeah. So it's an extra, isn't it, that you need to play? Hardware.
I wouldn't be surprised, if they announced a digital-only Xbox or something.
They could do that.
Yeah, just for the people who want to use the Games Pass or whatever, but aren't really bored about using this and stuff, so they could.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see, but it's quite interesting. 2 Point Hospital arrived for PC, Mac, and Linux. It's not called Linux, is it? It's Linux or something.
Linux, yeah.
On August 30th. That was quite good, that game. I presume it's coming to PlayStation, hopefully. But I don't really know. Actually, I'm sure one of our listeners will tell us if it's coming to PlayStation or not. I should know that, but I can't know everything, so I'll let myself leave it. Code Vein's release date has been delayed until 2019. I can't say I really know a lot about Code Vein or want to know a lot about it, so I'm not really that fussed, but I'm sure there's loads of people who are probably pretty excited about that game. I'm just not one of them, I'm afraid. So there we go. What can you do? Where are we? DICE has made 2 more Battlefield expansions free until next week. Now, I wrote this story last week, so I'm presuming they're not going to be free for much longer.
No.
basically until July 17th. So that's a bit of an old story because that was yesterday.
That's yesterday. Yeah,
Oh,
July
well.
17th yesterday.
There you go, you missed out. Don't say I didn't warn you though. I told you about it. I was a day late, but I told you about it. Tropical publisher Calypso has acquired the rights to classic stealth tactics series Commandos, and it's planning a brand new game.
I don't know that.
No, neither do I. She's joining me. I don't know it either. Commandos. We're in agreement there, Alexa. I like when she joins in the podcast.
Yeah, just randomly just turns on and she's like, I'm here too.
No, she likes to get in there, doesn't she? But no, I don't know. I can't say I know much about that game, to be honest. Commandos, I don't really remember it. It'd probably be one of these ones that comes back to me when I see it. I'll go, oh yeah, I know that. But at the moment, I don't really know anything about it whatsoever. Right, this is an interesting story. More than half of parents let their kids play 18 plus video games. That doesn't surprise me, actually.
I'm not surprised either. I guess it depends on the age of the kid, really, because if I'm thinking, obviously, there's got to be a cut-off point at some point where, you know, your kids, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12, we think maybe not. But for, say, 16, 17-year-olds, even 15-year-olds, I would not be surprised at all if parents were saying, here's an 18.
Well, I wouldn't wait. To me, as a parent, it depends on the game. Because just because they say it's an 18 doesn't necessarily mean I agree that it's an 18.
Exactly,
so something like Call of Duty or whatever, just the multiplayer, not the campaign. I would, when Jordan was maybe 16 or whatever, I'd go, yeah, you can play that, but you're not allowed to play the campaign. You're not allowed to play the multiplayer because it's not as violent. So that, whereas GTA, I wouldn't let him play it at all.
No.
So, no.
It's the themes, isn't it, in GTA as well? Like, it's not just violence. There's also, like,
whereas I thought,
gambling and heist.
Yeah. Whereas I thought Call of Duty multiplayer was okay. I mean, because it's nothing worse than what you see on TV. Maybe the campaign's a bit more bloody and more swearing and stuff like that. So I'd say no to that, but I'd maybe let them play the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But it just depends. But I mean, if it's rated 18, I guess you should let them play it. But you can use your judgment as well. It's not really that bad. I mean, Fortnite, for instance, I don't know what that's rated, but I like my...
I think it's I don't know. Because I know it must be a 12, because the reason it's got so popular is because Pugbar is obviously a 16, so parents went to Fortnite because it's a 12. Both of them are practically exactly the same. It's just cartoonish stylings, which have set Fortnite as one for the lower PEGI rating. So it's all down to best preference, isn't it?
My 9-year-old plays Fortnite, but I don't really see a problem with that game. I mean, I think the main problem with it is it can be quite addictive. But all his friends play it, and they're all 9. I mean, everybody plays it. I'm not letting him play it because his friends do. I'm letting him play it because I can use my judgment. I think it's okay, as long as he doesn't actually spend his life on it. It's all right.
Yeah, I think with games like that, and we'll obviously talk about Fortnite more in a minute, is I think it's obviously not the violence. It's once you get your kid on a game like Fortnite, can you get your kid off Fortnite for, going to bed, eating dinner, spending time with family? That we obviously talked about it last week or the week before about like video game addiction. So Fortnite's a funny one because in a way, like, people can play all these games, that have all these, adult themes in them and not be bothered by them, not think about them. And then they're addicted to things that are 12s, just because of the nature of the game. So
although you could say that for you could say that for
anything,
Minecraft. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You could, yeah.
And you're allowed to put that at 9. So I mean, it's a little bit. Fortnite's okay. I don't have a problem playing with that. It's not really an issue. It's seen worse on TV, to be honest. So I don't have an issue. But I think you just need to use your judgment, depending on the game, and also how much time you let them spend on it.
Exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't let my 9-year-old play. I don't even let him play Call of Duty. I wouldn't let him play that. I wouldn't let him play Grand Theft Auto or whatever. I mean, it just depends what it is, personally. But I mean, everybody's different. But I know most parents, I mean, at least I know about them, do you know what I mean? At least I know what the games are and I know all about video games. But a lot of his friends, for instance, who are playing games like that, they don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Their parents, they don't know what they're doing, probably. They don't know when they're asking for money to buy V-Bucks. They don't know what they think maybe, they're buying a new game or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas all they're buying's a skin, and I'm, but we'll get to that in a minute, I think.
You will, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll move on from that. Speaking of Fortnite, we've got a bit of Fortnite news here. Actually, it's Season 5 came out. It adds carts, rifts, and new areas, and gyro controls on Nintendo Switch. I don't play Fortnite at all. I tried it once. I'm not really interested. It doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. The Bard Tale 4 comes out on PC on 18th September. I don't know why I wrote that down. I presume maybe it was coming
December?
to PS4 as well. September.
Oh, I was going to say that. Okay.
Maybe for some reason I thought it was coming to PS4, but it just says PC here, so. Well, there you go. If you've got PC, you know now. So there you go. Right. Subnautica is coming to PS4.
That looks really good. I think that looks really good.
Holiday 18. That's coming. So that'll be interesting. Don't know a lot about it, to be honest, but it's underwater survival adventure, so that's different,
looks so good, yeah.
Check that one out.
Definitely playing that, yeah.
Far Cry 5 sci-fi themed Lost on Mars DLC is out this week. It might be out now. What day is it? Wednesday?
18th.
So yeah, so it might be out now. If not, it's going to be out very soon, so that's pretty cool. And Gravity Rush 2 fans are pleading for Sony to stop the servers from shutting down. Challenges, photos, rewards, and more will disappear. So that's a shame, but more people should have bought it then. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If loads of people bought it, then they wouldn't be shutting the server down. I'm guessing the reason they're shutting it down is because no one's using it.
No one's playing it anymore.
I
exactly.
Mean, if it costs more to run it than there is people playing it, then shut it down and spend your money somewhere else. That's kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And probably the biggest news of this week is that No Man's Sky's Next is coming out. That was quite interesting, but I said on Twitter, I think I'm done with No Man's Sky long ago.
I think the problem is, and I don't want it to be this way, but I think a lot of players would have obviously played the PlayStation 1. Did it come out 2 years ago? It did, didn't it? Yeah, 2 years ago. I think they would have played it and they would have been put off, and they think, well, that's great. The game is out now, but it should have been completed 2 years ago. It's almost like they gave it to, obviously this didn't happen this way, but I think some people see it like they gave it to PlayStation players as like testers. Do you know what I mean? Like beta testers to test the game.
And now the full version comes out for it, just as the Xbox version releases.
I don't really think that's necessarily a thing. I think obviously they just got a lot of things wrong, and kudos to them. They worked with the community and they've made a game that hopefully now is what people wanted in the first place. But other people won't see it like that. Some people will think, oh well, they just used PlayStation, took our money for a half-assed game. But if it's a free update for everyone who's got a copy, then we're literally not losing out.
As long as the update's free, then I don't really have an issue with it. I think it's about a Drive Club. It was terrible when it came out, but eventually it was amazing. It's a bit of a shame, but eventually it was amazing. And the new No Man's Sky looks really good. I said hands up on Twitter, that looks amazing, but I'm done with that now. I'm not interested. It was been and gone, that game for me, and I doubt I'll ever go back to it. Maybe one day I will, but I just don't see why I would. There's too much else out to sort of grab my attention, and I don't generally go back to old games. Very rarely is a thing I do.
It's almost like obviously No Man's Sky had your attention 2 years ago, and now it's like, well, you've already played that game. Although I do think that Nicole is going to play it and write a patch notes and update about it, which would be quite interesting to see if they've, delivered this time around as well.
Yeah. I mean, that should have been finished 2 years ago, then maybe I'd still be playing it now, but now.
Maybe.
No, I'd played it for This Is Born, never played it again, and I can't imagine the new update would really change my mind on that just because there's multiplayer. Still don't care.
Yeah.
Still don't care. I don't care about base building and stuff because I'm not interested. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like Minecraft. So, I mean, something like that. It's basically Minecraft because you can
build stuff.
Build, and then you can go to another planet and build, which is quite cool. I had that idea ages ago, actually.
You did.
I told somebody about
you
it,
did. I think you said something to us.
I said you could have a Minecraft and then build a rocket, leave the planet, go to another planet and
Go build
build some
some else.
more. Yeah, so I remember having that idea years ago. Maybe they were sitting in a room listening at the time. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, charts. Crash is number 1 still. Lego The Incredibles seems to be a new entry at number 2. Octopath Traveler number 3. Captain Toad's number 4. God of War's number 5. FIFA's number 6. Jurassic World's number 7. Mario Tennis Aces is number 8. Far Cry 5's number 9. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 10. Just for interest of everybody who wants to know, Grand Theft Auto is number 15.
Okay, so it's not far from the top 10.
No, it's not far.
Hanging around.
So yeah. And that's the gaming news. Bye-bye, PlayPad.
8. Okay. Right.
Here.
Okay.
Now, I did write that gaming news a few days ago, so
so it might not be relevant.
Some things have left my head now, so yeah.
Okay then, we're going to talk about the topic this week, which we've still fits in with Fortnite. People are probably absolutely fed up with us talking about Fortnite, but we wanted to talk about free-to-play games and how they sort of fleece players in with purchasing things for the games. Because I was thinking about this the other day, and Fortnite may be a free game, but I bet the average person spends so much money on Fortnite. With obviously all the V-Bucks, all the skins, you can buy all the outfits and everything. It may be a free-to-play game, but it definitely makes such a great amount of profit. Just from enticing players in. Oh, it's free-to-play, and you get all this cool stuff, but you have to buy it. Oh yeah, it's only $7.99 for this many V-Bucks. I think that it's a very clever marketing tool because obviously, like I said, they must have made so much money from Fortnite, to be able to keep it free, but still know that they'll get an audience by putting all these extras in.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, I don't know a lot about its structure. I really don't, but I know they release battle passes.
Yeah.
And I know all the time they seem to release one all the time. Travis will go to me, I'm getting a battle pass, fine. That's because I think, battle pass, at least adds more to the game than what a skin would, for instance.
Yeah.
So I say, fine, you can have money, get battle pass. And then about a month later, I'm getting battle pass. I said, you bought it last month? He's going, no, this is a new one. And I swear there's been about 10 out so far. And it's got, what a nightmare. And then, so I mean, fine, battle passes, and I think there's ways to get free skins and stuff when you buy them, plus you get different weapons and all the updates or whatever, fine, whatever. So I mean, I don't know how much these cost, these battle passes. They're about 900 V-Bucks or something, whatever that equates to, I don't know. But
it's like 20 quid or something, £20?
Possibly. I think it's maybe a bit less than that for the battle passes. Yeah. But I know the skin he wanted to buy, he was desperate for a skin, he went in a complete strop, and it has got 20 quid for 2 skins. And I was like, nope, not a chance on air for you getting that. What does it do? What does it add to the game? I'm saying to him, what's so great about it? Oh, you just look good. Well,
yeah,
you're not looking good for 20 quid. I said you could go out and buy yourself a nice t-shirt for 20 quid. And
you could look good
instead of the character on the screen. So I was like, nah, I think it's a rip-off. I know, like we said earlier, kids at that age shouldn't really be playing the game anyway. So, but even still, a 12-year-old, and you get all these footballers. Got there's 2 footballers at World Cup doing at the World Cup final, which is watched by probably about
so many people,
40 billion people or something, and they're doing Fortnite dances. So I mean, that influence of, because footballers are just so influential. So if they're into Fortnite and dancing about and stuff, all Epic, whatever they need to do is go, let's release these 20 quid skins. If that footballer's got it, everyone will want it. And then it's a status symbol, isn't it? A skin becomes the new Nike trainers or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there must be so much pressure on kids to have the skins. And
my brother doesn't have Fortnite, but he has said so many times that he feels left out at school and stuff because everybody's talking about Fortnite, everyone's showing off the skins they have, the gliders, the weapons, and it must seem like for parents that if their kids are being bullied or even excluded because of a video game and it's a free to play video game, then they must be like, oh well, we'll get it, we'll download it. Oh yeah, it's only $7.99 for this thing. Yeah, we'll get this. It becomes like a cycle where, just like you were saying about the battle pass, new things are added on Fortnite all the time. There's new skins, there's new weapons. Some of these things are so expensive. You wouldn't think about spending that much money on, like you said, a virtual skin. It reminds me of completely different. I'm going a little on tangent here, but the Far Cry 5 and other deluxe game passes and stuff. So when I bought Far Cry 5, I got the limited edition one because they sold out of the standard. Same price, but on the back it said, oh, limited edition, you get these clothes and these clothes that you can't get anywhere else. And in Far Cry 5, you can't even see yourself. You can just see your feet. So it's completely superficial. It's so other people in multiplayer can see you and think, oh, that's cool. I want to get that outfit, but I didn't obviously order the limited edition or the deluxe edition, so I can't get it. So it is just a way, they're using these superficial items to try and draw in a wider audience by making, like you said, people feel like they are wearing the elite form, of clothing. They're the ones who are standing out because they're getting something that not everyone can afford.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It's not really anything new, is it? I mean, you think of FIFA, the Ultimate Team, which is quite. I mean, FIFA is a killer for me. That's a nightmare because I love FIFA and I really like Ultimate Team, and it's got, when you used to be at school getting these Panini stickers and stuff. That's what Ultimate Team is. It's Panini stickers. Exactly. So you just open them and hope you get the good ones. And it's
exactly.
That's addictive to me. I mean, I always end up spending a pure ton on Ultimate Team. Right, when the game first comes out, I usually do it then. I sort of slow down, don't bother with it anymore. But right at the start, I want to have a good team, and I end up buying points. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? I end up spending more points than I do on the game.
Crazy, isn't it? I mean, that's
so
the
easy
thing.
To do.
That's what it is. And I mean, once again, this is another tangent. Evolve obviously was quite a controversial game a few years ago. That wasn't a free-to-play game. It was very cheap. But the game was almost like a shell, and then all the content was DLC. So it's the same sort of thing. They sort of entice you in with a good-looking game, interesting-looking story with a cheap price. It makes people think, oh, that's great, that's cheap, we'll get that. And then when you actually get into the game and you've established yourself with it and you've played a bit and you obviously are hooked on that game, they go, oh, would you like these things for only this much money? And then it just grows from that. It becomes a thing where you sort of wait for the next thing and you're like, oh, the next thing, the next battle pass, the next season drop for this is coming, the next outfits are coming. It makes you, and it makes kids, especially, kids being impressionable, it makes them think, I need to get this, I'll tell my mum I want to get this. It's insane the number of people who I see buying, credit for Fortnite, and I say, oh, what are you getting this for? And they go, oh, I'm getting it for this super cool skin, it's like this really cool outfit. And in the whole shape of it all, what is that? That's, if Fortnite dies down, that's basically just 20 quid wasted on something that you would have, had on your character for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, and that's the thing with Ultimate Team as well. That all those points you spend in FIFA 18 don't carry over to FIFA 19.
Yeah,
so
true.
I've bought this brand new Ultimate Team and I'm going, oh, my team's amazing. I've done it in FIFA 17, my team's amazing, so pleased with it. Then you go to FIFA 18 and they'll maybe just give you a reward or whatever for playing last year of a gold pack or whatever. And it's got, I spent a fortune, why can't just my players carry over or something? And so, but then you're a mug and you just do it again anyway, and then you do it again next year. It kind of makes me feel that FIFA should be free to play, so you get the mods.
Yeah, it could be, I guess.
Then you can, because nothing much changes with FIFA. It's one of these games that should be a game as a service, like Fortnite, Rocket League, Minecraft. I think I wouldn't really have a problem with buying Ultimate Team stickers in, because that's my choice as an adult. So in that case, they give you a free update with all the, because what changes in FIFA? Nothing. Each year they give out these buzzwords or precision play or precision passing or whatever, load of rubbish nonsense, and everybody's all buzzing about the new FIFA. And then you look at it and you think, and then you play it and sure, the gameplay might have been tweaked a little bit, but generally it's exactly the same.
Same
and you're
thing,
thinking,
yeah.
where's the difference here? I don't get it. So FIFA is the one candidate, I would say, for a game as a service where each year they just basically release a free update for the new season with all the new kits and all the player movement between clubs. And then you just keep playing constantly. You buy it once or you download it for free, play constantly, and then they'll make their money back anyway on things like Ultimate Team. But because people keep paying for it every year, they keep buying it every year, and it's always the best-selling game. I guarantee by Christmas, FIFA's going to be up at number 1 or number 2, because it always is. It always is, every year without fail. So as long as people keep buying it, they're not going to do that. But if sales have slowed down, I think they will, because it makes complete sense to do it. And I'm going back to the things like the Ultimate Team or the Fortnite V-Bucks, whatever. I don't really have a problem with it in that, from a company's point of view, they're a business. If people's going to make the money, if people's going to spend the money, 20 quid on a skin.
Not doing anything different.
If people spend 20 quid on the skin, keep charging it. I would.
Yeah, they will, won't they?
If we could put a skin in the background of this video and say, right, if you want that skin in the background video, you need to give us 20 quid each.
Yeah.
I'd be doing it every time.
Of course you would.
And then,
it's just, I mean, what does it say about us as consumers? We're just so impressionable, aren't we, that, status means such a big thing to us, even at such a young age where, we've said it, loads of times now, where having that one specific brand or that one specific type of shoe makes you stand out. It's crazy that it's like that in a video game as well as in real life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody's like it. I mean, insert coin, for instance, that's kind of status amongst gamers. So everybody goes,
literally wearing insert coin right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I wear my insert coin t-shirt. Oh, I'm cool or whatever. And I'm terrible with trainers as well. I need to have Adidas or Nike or something. I would never wear like Asda's or something. I never have, and I never will. It's just what I like. So I mean, we're all kind of like that in a way, whether it's video games or real life. I think most people probably like certain brands, but so I don't have an issue as such with it. But I think it's too much. 20 quid for 2 skins. I have an issue in paying it, but if other people's going to pay it, they should keep charging it. Hopefully people see sense and won't pay it, and then they'll put the price down, because they'll go, oh, we're not selling these guys, put the price down, because that happens with everything, doesn't it? Look at Bethesda games.
Exactly.
Oh, we're not selling these guys, let's sell them for a tenner each.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I mean, if you don't have issue with it personally yourself, then don't pay for it. And if most people did that, it probably wouldn't cost that much in the first place. But to the companies out there, if you're raking it in, keep charging it. Why not? Okay, shall we move on for this?
Yeah, then? We'll move on. Are we doing user questions?
Yeah, let's do that next. Okay, I'll just bring them up on the screen. We've got 3 this week, haven't we?
3.
Okay, I'll just read them out then, since I can see them. First one's from Kieran Rose Art. It says, what game that had already been released do you think could be adapted for VR mode? Alien Isolation could work a treat, he says.
I guess you could say any first person would work, but then it's terms of how would you cope with, obviously quite a lot of first person games are very filled with action. I have to agree. I think that Alien Isolation would be amazing, but I think it would be so scary. I think they did like an Oculus, or they did something, even if it was just like a demo or one level where you could play it in a VR mode. I think it was just terrifying. But I think most first-person games, you can almost imagine them as being VR games, because, you can just see everything.
Change, isn't it?
It's just about the action.
When I've played Moss, it makes me think that a game like Little Big Planet would work quite well.
Yeah.
The way they did, if they did it the way you do Moss, where it sort of, it's hard to explain, but with Moss, you'd think of it as just a platformer, but when you put the headset on, it just all comes alive in front of you. So I'm looking at a table right now, so it'd be like that would be the platform, like a
Oh,
sort of
that's cool.
like a table shape, the way it sticks out at you in real life. Inside it'd be like 3D. It's hard to explain, Moss, until you've played it, but it's a perfect example of how a platformer should probably be done on VR, and it's excellent. It just feels like you're in the platformer, which is
cool.
just really well done. So if they done a Little Big Planet like that or something, it'd probably be really cool. Maybe got a kart racer as well with that as well.
Yeah, I mean they did Gran Turismo, didn't they? So racing games aren't off the board just because they're faster. I mean, I'm just speaking about. I don't want to say slow because I don't like VR unless it's a slow game. But when I think about stuff that is slow, like Journey and Abzu and What Remains of Edith Finch, they all seem to fit like really well as being like third person. What Remains of Edith Finch you could probably do, and it would probably be really interesting because obviously you spend a lot of that game. It's in first person. You spend a lot of the game looking around. Everything's hidden everywhere. That could work. But I don't know. I really don't know.
There was a cool walking simulator I reviewed called Corner.
Oh, I did see that.
Into VR. That video's had loads of views. So I think people must be interested in it. But it's got you're just in a snowy Canadian town, walking through, investigating, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's really good, and it's just kind of like a. What was that game? Is What Remains of Edith Finch? Is that the one where you walk through the town? Or
that one is where you walk through her family house, and every room is sort of like sealed off as a shrine. So you go through everyone's story.
What was the town one again? We were talking about it a few weeks ago. It went out of my head. But you're in the town and you're just walking about, and it's this old English town. You must know what I mean. You do know what I mean.
I probably do.
And you're
Old English town.
Yeah.
Oh, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is it that one?
Yeah, that would work fine as well. That's another one that would work. That's very slow.
Well, it's kind of like that kind of except in a snowy Canadian town, and you're just wandering about, investigating murders and stuff. It's really good, but it's slow enough that it's not make you feel sick, which is the problem I have. Yeah, the way they've done it's really good. You can teleport to areas and stuff instead of walking, which I like. I always like that option VR because it kind of takes away the motion sickness. A bit like they did with Batman VR, which is again another really good game. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what else though. I can't really think.
Tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I think Everybody's Gone to the Rapture would work really well.
Maybe like somewhat beyond if you had it in first person and you were
you
were one of the robots or whatever. Maybe because that's still just sort of face button bashing anyway in it, so it could kind of work. Maybe I don't know. He could probably make quite a good VR game, David Cage.
Oh God, I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, next question. Amy Hennig talked. This is from Oscar. Amy Hennig talked about single-player games and how they're becoming unsustainable due to rising costs, and it seems that a $60 price point won't be a viable option anymore. Would you be willing to pay an extra $10 or $20 for a single-player game starting next gen? Okay.
So obviously we're in England, so it's different for us. It's obviously 40. It's like £45 for like a main game, pushing 50 if you go on the digital store. I don't like spending that much money on video games. I'm a big fan of indie titles, so I like spending money on the cheaper ones. Once a year or maybe twice a year pushing it, I will pre-order a game, one that I'm really excited about. So I did pre-order Far Cry 5 last year. I pre-ordered Horizon Zero Dawn, and I paid £40 for them. But I think the thing that gets me is that a few months after release, these games drop, and it just makes me think, oh, I don't like spending that much money when, a month to 6 months later, they've dropped down to half price. I don't know. So
yeah, no, I don't think I would. I mean, like we were saying earlier, they can easily make their money up in other ways. They can release skins and stuff. People buy them if they're that.
Well, they obviously will
desperate. Now. Why not? I mean, I don't understand why they don't release other stuff as well, like maybe premium avatars or premium
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
PS4 wallpaper backgrounds, the dynamic backgrounds and stuff.
Might be a thing
I
at
mean,
some point.
there's ways they can make their money back by getting people to keep playing, by releasing new story, DLC or whatever. I'm sure there's ways they can make more money if the game doesn't sell as well as they hoped it would. I think I'm quite happy with £50. I think that's a reasonable amount, really.
So you wouldn't go 60?
Nah,
I wouldn't want to.
Especially for a game that maybe only lasts 10 hours anyway. When I
That's the thing too.
them,
yeah, I mean, every game comes to an end at some point, and it's just a case of how much money are you willing to spend on something that, even if you do play it twice, the experience and all the memorable stuff is going to come from the first time you play it when you're taking it in fresh. I mean, like I said, for example, I'm probably going to get Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I probably won't get it when it first comes out. I'd rather wait a few months until it drops in price a bit, considering especially that the first Tomb Raider, the definitive edition, and the Rise of the Tomb Raider have now dropped to about £20. It just makes me think, if I can afford to, not play this game for 2 to even 4 months, I'd rather get it then. Days Gone next year, I'll probably pre-order. That's probably the only one where I'll be like, I'll happy to pay whatever price for that on release day. But it's very rare that I do get things when they're at that high selling point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I kind of agree. I mean, generally, it's a bit different for us a lot of the time because we get them for review, so it's quite hard to say, a lot of the time we'll get the games we want because we're going to review them, so
yeah,
it's hard to think for that point of view when you don't pay for them as much. But I still buy the ones I like, and I still
I buy loads.
I still when they want to pay £60, I think that's too much just for the standard edition. I can afford that out for a steelbook edition or something if I really had to.
If you really want to.
If you're not getting anything extra for that extra £10, I think that would really put me off.
Yeah.
Hello, lovely people, says Thomas. Question for the podcast. PSVR, I think it's destined to go the way of Vita, which is a shame. Do you agree? And what else should Sony be doing to further sales growth? Is VR simply a passing fad?
Don't know. I think the problem with VR is that it's not really had any games yet where people have been like, oh my god, you've got to buy VR to get this. Obviously, there's a lot of good games, like Moss you really like. There's a Job Simulator which has taken off quite well. But I feel like it's almost as though it's like the PlayStation, if the PlayStation only sold indie titles, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It seems that they have the power and they have the products they need to make a big game, but it's almost like they don't want to do it, which makes me think that VR won't last very long and that it is just it's like an experiment in terms of how will people react to virtual reality, and then how can we make it better in upcoming generations to drag in a bigger audience for those big titles we want to put out. So
see, I don't think
know.
It is a fad because I think the technology is only going to improve.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're talking about being able to have VR in 4K, and that would be amazing.
That's crazy.
I mean, if you took away that sort of haziness that the PSVR's got now, it's got this sort of, it's hard to explain, but it's got this almost got old CRTV fuzz about it, which is just, it's there and it can be distraction. I don't know if that would add to the motion sickness or not, that fuzz.
Maybe.
Because sometimes it can feel a bit blurry and stuff, which wouldn't help. But imagine you had crystal clear 4K in front of your eyes. I just think that would make things, it might help with motion sickness for, and I think
it might do, yeah.
And it would look amazing as well. It'd look incredible. And I think I can see the PS5 including VR, not including it like, it comes in the box or whatever, but just having it sort of baked into the console so that the supports the support that's there day one, and it's sort of, it makes the experience so much better than it is now. I know I can see what Thomas is saying in terms of it feels kind of like an indie machine, much like the Vita does, because Sony's really not releasing first party games for it of a really top quality. But I still think there's something there. I still think there's games releasing for it that are really good. And I think the people who own VR are probably quite happy with it.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of seeing where the technology goes in the future. Because I mean, if for instance they come up with a way that you can play any game in VR that you buy,
Yeah,
then all
that's
of a
pretty cool.
sudden it's just an awesome add-on to have, because
Yeah.
you could
It
go,
would sell
"Oh,
a lot
fancy
then.
playing this one in VR or whatever."
Yeah, just testing it out.
And there's other good things as well with that app that BBC released during the World Cup, the VR World Cup app, and you could watch the World Cup in VR, and it was like you were in the stadium. Like you
That's
could
cool.
look round and you're watching the people who are actually at the World Cup walk up the stairs and take their seat and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and then when it kicks off, you're sort of just sitting there. You can watch from 3 angles, either behind each goal or from the sort of centre of the stadium, and you're in your
Very
own
cool.
wee booth watching
That's
it.
so cool. Yeah.
So that was pretty good. And if they use that technology with other things like live concerts and theatre and stuff like that, then you can be there without leaving your house. You could watch a live
Exactly.
music concert from your VR, or you can watch live theatre or whatever, and that's a pretty awesome thing to be able to do. Watch live comedy, whatever. Just get the ticket, watch along, pay less than you would pay to
Then
actually
you
go
would
there,
pay.
and you can just sit and watch it. I think that would be
Very
pretty
clever.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's still got potential. So I think it's just a case of waiting to see what
There it goes.
happens with it. Okay, then what are we moving on to next?
We can do what we've been playing, and then we've got the quiz, and that's it, I think.
Okay, though. I'll start then because I've not played much, to be honest.
No worries.
I've been watching the World Cup. That's what I've been playing, World Cup on TV. And I reviewed Mugsters. So I played that. Did I review anything else? I swear I did. Can't remember. I don't remember the last thing I reviewed before Mugsters. It must have been a while ago. Maybe it was The Corner or something. I don't know. But Mugsters, then, that's a cool game. It's like how could you explain what it is? It's kind of like a Micro Machines, because there's loads of vehicles in it, but it's not a racing game. It's like a puzzle adventure Micro Machines and mush up or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but basically you've got all these levels, and you're on a planet, and you're this little guy, and your mission really is to rescue the humans and then escape the planet on the aeroplane that's always at the end of the level. So you've got a sort of top-down isometric view. It's not completely top-down, but you know what I mean, sort of, like say, isometric, sort of just off top-down.
What was the last thing you reviewed? I can't find it anywhere.
Oh no,
that's
was the last one.
That's Darksiders news.
I don't remember. It's a while ago. I've not done many because
I want to find it now.
But yeah, it's a good game. It's really fun. You basically have to rescue humans who are in these little cylinders. So there's all these different types of vehicles. So combine harvesters, coaches, racing cars and stuff. So you get in them, and eventually there'll be these wee red bad guys who chase after you, and you can run them over in your car. You can drive up with the cylinders and smash them. You can smash through walls to get past obstacles, but there's also barrels that you can throw at the walls that explode. And to mix things up, you have the option to collect crystals and also complete other objectives like fixing like pylons and gates and stuff.
Yeah.
And as you get through the levels, they get harder and harder. And you get even more sort of enemies that sort of these big contraption things that fly at you, and you can't run them over, so you have to throw the barrels at them. So that's quite tough. And you get more and more enemies. And also you get traps and things, so you need to drive through walls and find switches and flick the switches so that the gates will open. Or sometimes you need to trigger the traps, but if a trap hits your vehicle, for instance, you've got about a few seconds to get out and get away from the blast radius, otherwise it'll blow you up and you have to start again. But the thing is, the twist is when you rescue humans, they'll come in the vehicles with you.
Okay.
So, like, if you've got 3 in the vehicle with you and your vehicle gets hit, you need to get out, run away. But a lot of time, your humans will get blown up, which is really annoying. Then you'll need you won't be able to escape the level. You won't be able to move on to the next level until you rescue all the humans. So you'll get to the end, you might have collected all the crystals or completed the objective, you'll fly away in your airplane and then it will say, oh, not enough humans rescued or whatever. But it'll remember that you've collected the crystals and done your objective. So therefore you only need to go back and rescue the humans.
Well, that's clever that it remembers at least.
Yeah, and it does that for everything. So if you rescue enough humans, you can go back again and collect the crystals or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty cool how they throw in all the different vehicles. I like that. And you can play it in multiplayer, and you also play the same levels in multiplayer, sort of co-op. So you can do it with 2 people as well. So it's good. You have a wee home base as well, so you can customise your character with a cape or whatever, and you can drive round. You can sort of race around the home base, because whenever you collect all the humans, it will unlock a vehicle in your home base, so then you can sort of race it round the track. So yeah, it's a nice wee game. It's a nice little game, but it's cool. But yeah, I think that's about it, to be honest. I never really played much else.
Yeah, the other thing you reviewed was Esper on the 5th of July. Yes. So we probably talked about that on the last podcast.
Is that the VR
one? Oh, no,
we
didn't. Yeah, we didn't talk about it because we didn't do what we've been playing. So Esper's the other one.
Oh, that's the puzzle. I don't remember. I mean, I see it come back to me. But Esper's like you're in one room. It's VR. You're in one room and you just basically need to complete puzzles in a room. Like throwing balls through tubes and stuff. It's alright. It's nothing special. But yeah, that's that.
Okay then. I have done 2 video games since we last. I've done 2 video games. I've played 2 video games since we last talked. Firstly, I finished BioShock, but myself and Nicole are planning on doing a thorough spoiler special at some point this week where we just talk about everything, like the whole game. It's been out 10 years, so hopefully most people have played that. So I'll talk more about that tomorrow or Friday. And then the other thing I played, which went up for review today, was The Moose Man, which was really interesting because it's sort of very heavily influenced by historical events, like historical myths and legends. So it's an indie game. It's just a 2D puzzler. You sort of go through the world. You can wear this moose skull. If you're wearing that, you can see all the spirits around you. Sometimes you need to have it on to cross over bridges that aren't there in the mortal world. Sometimes you need to have it off because there are blockages in the spirit world that you need to get past. So it's kind of a very basic puzzle. The puzzles aren't too complex. It's very, it's either you wear the hat or you don't wear the hat, and then you can get through. But I found it really interesting, the level of history and the level of lore in there. It's got all these artifacts throughout the game, and if you click on them, it's not just about fictional tribes and made up legends. It's got this can be seen in tribes from the 17th century. This can be seen from like historical recordings from the 15th century. It's really clever. It's really well thought out. But yeah, really good little game. It's really short. It's about 2 hours long, but I think it's only £6.49 in the store right now, and it came out on PlayStation today. So it's worth picking up if you just want something that's very simple and very functional.
Quite cheap. That's quite good.
Yeah, it's really good. It was a nice little break of a game, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously I've been playing BioShock, which is very, very tense, very action.
Yeah, it's quite tense.
So it's nice having something that's suddenly, it's very calm again, and it's just about.
How far have you got through BioShock?
I finished the first one. I'm about 2 hours into the second one. I've been playing them through quite fast. I think I finished BioShock after 5 days. It was just so attached to the story and so attached to the setting. Setting especially, I loved being just like the idea of being trapped underwater. I just loved that. And in certain rooms you could look up and you could just see the surface, miles above your head, and it made it a lot more claustrophobic.
I really like.
So good.
I still think Infinite's the best one.
I'm going to get to that, so I'm really, really excited for that. I'm basically playing through BioShock 2 to get to Infinite.
Yeah, I've not actually played Infinite's DLC.
No, that's meant to be good, that is.
What is it called again? Return to Rapture or something?
Return to Rapture, something, yeah.
Oh, I really need to play that. I never actually realised that I have all the remasters on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
I
the
thought I
collection.
only owned the PlayStation 3 ones, because that's where I played it all. I played them all on PlayStation 3, I think.
Yeah, they're in a big collection on the PlayStation 4, which is useful. All there.
I swear.
You
Oh
don't
no,
find it?
maybe I had them on Xbox. I don't know. I think I had them on Xbox, but I've got them all. I think I actually played Bioshock on Xbox, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
But I think I played Infinite. And what have I done? I've broken this. We seem to have disappeared from the screen, which isn't very good. What have I done? Hold on. Give me a second. We'll get us back again. Are we back? What have I done? Where have we
Shame
gone?
I haven't played anything else. I can't carry on talking.
No, we've disappeared from the screen, which is really bizarre. I've broken this. I've broken the podcast. I don't know what I've done.
That's so
Don't know how to
funny.
fix it. Right, we're still here somewhere. I just don't know where we've went. We've just disappeared from the screen. Like some sort of weird sort of thing. What's happened? I don't know what's happened. Why am I missing from the screen? Well, we'll just keep that. Oh, we're back again.
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, I don't know
That was
why.
weird.
We just seem to have disappeared from the screen for some reason.
Oh well, we're back now.
We're back. Some shady and all that. He's back. We're gone again, by the way.
I think that's it though. Not been playing anything else.
No, that's cool. I don't know. I don't know why I've made this disappear from the screen again.
Are we gone again?
Yeah, that was my fault. Right, you got to. Rebecca's back. I'm not back. You've got to sort of have a little mess about some things. There I am.
Sometimes mid-pod.
We just thought
Okay.
we'd throw that in for nobody who's listening on iTunes or whatever
Oh
has
God,
a clue what I'm
they have
talking
no
about.
idea what's going on.
They're going, they think they're going, but they're not. But I'm talking about the video, so that's, if you're confused, though, it's just I was messed about with my mouse and I just pushed the wrong button.
You turned it off.
Anyway, yeah. So I need to play the
Infinite DLC.
I'm pretty sure I never played it, and I don't know why.
Okay, it's meant to tie things together from the first game. I don't know how I've done this, but I don't know any spoilers for Bioshock 2 or Infinite or any of the DLCs, so trying to just be really, really fast playing through Bioshock 2 so I can actually get to Infinite.
I presume the DLCs included in the remasters.
Yeah, they're in the remaster. The collection's literally got everything in it. It's really good. I think it's like 20 quid.
I need to play through Infinite again and then play the... Or maybe I should just start with DLC because it's still remember it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to start with the
No, probably not.
Bioshock Infinite DLC. Not sure.
Not sure either.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look at some point because that's something. I love that game. It's one of my favourites for PS3. It's so good. Brilliant game. Infinite. Oh, wait till you play it. It's just so different as well from the other two. That's what I love about it.
Isn't it? Oh, I can't wait.
But it's just it's a polar opposite. It's completely opposite. Whereas Bioshock and Bioshock 2 are quite dull and sort of dour. This one's completely bright and colourful and party. It's almost.
I can't wait.
Oh, I just love that game. It's so good. Okay, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to that before I start rabbiting on about it too much.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me. I'll be annoyed.
Okay, let's do a quiz. Now, this is funny, this quiz, because I don't remember, because we were going to record our podcast on Sunday, so I sorted out this quiz probably on Friday or something, and I don't remember the answers. So
we're both going to guess.
So I'm going to try and Google it when we're talking, but in the meantime, here's the first one. It's good fun when you play like you only don't have one life, but that in itself makes it feel like an oddity that hasn't quite found its identity yet. That's a critic review. There's so much stuff to do in this game that it's almost staggering. I've played it for roughly 20 hours and it feels like I've barely scratched the surface. And that's a user review. Any ideas? While I try and Google it and try somehow desperately to find out what the answer
20
is.
hours. So it's a big game.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, if I guess, we won't know what it is.
No, so we're going to...
So do you want me to keep waiting until we're
No, just try and
Uh,
guess. And I'm going to try
um,
and guess as well.
First thing that comes to mind when it says it's a big game and there's lots to do would be The Witcher 3, but then he says he's only 20 hours in and The Witcher 3 is huge. I don't know. Persona 5, Witcher 3, any other big games? God, that's quite tricky. There's quite a few where I'd class as like not big games, but like medium-sized games, so like Horizon Zero
I
Dawn.
found the answer.
Have you got it?
Yeah,
Is it
because by
anything we've said?
typing in the first sentence of what the user review was, I was able to find the review. So yeah, I know
Was it
what
anything
it is.
we said?
Not, and I completely.
No.
It come back to me that I know what it is now, but I wouldn't have got that.
No?
So,
Oh, great, thanks.
Let me just read it one more time. It's good fun when you play like you don't only have one life, so you've only got one life. But that in itself makes it feel like an oddity that hasn't quite found its identity yet. And I've probably cut out some of that review because it spoiled it. And also, there's so much stuff to do in this game that it's almost staggering. I've played it for roughly 20 hours and it feels like I've barely scratched the surface. I don't think you're going to get this one, Rebecca, but you can try.
No.
Go have 3 guesses.
One Life has really thrown me off because everything I've played, it's like you either have multiple lives or you have health kits.
Yeah. 3 guesses, go.
I would say Persona 5.
No.
No. One Life. Oh my god. One Life. I literally have no clue. Because everything I'm thinking of, you have like health potions. And
Okay,
that
I'll give you a
obviously
clue then. Multiplayer shooter.
Oh god. Is it something like Overwatch?
No.
No, multiplayer shooter.
One more.
Destiny?
No, that's your 3 guesses.
No,
It's Fortnite.
what is it? Oh, it's I hate Fortnite. I hate it.
But we're talking about it so much.
One Life, of course, yeah.
We're talking about it so much, so it's funny that I would choose that one. Okay, this next one. I think I know what this one is.
Okay.
But I'm just going to Google it just to make sure. The genuinely challenging stages are chock full of secrets and will require multiple playthroughs to find everything they have to offer. Critic review. User review. The game is filled with Easter eggs and homages to what makes this series much beloved the first time round. I think I know what this is.
First time round. So it's a series. Oh no. First time round?
Or it's a remaster.
Or it's a remaster. Kirby? That's a remaster? No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure it's not that, because it's not a PlayStation game.
Oh, is it a PlayStation?
Yeah.
PlayStation only.
They're generally, not necessarily PlayStation only, but they're always on PlayStation.
Okay, it's a remaster. It's got a lot of levels. I know
what it is. I'm sure I know what it is.
Oh. I don't think I have a clue on this. PlayStation, it's a remaster. Lots of levels. I don't know. I'm completely stumped on that. What you're not going to say what you think it is in case it's the actual game?
I think it might be Far Cry 3.
Okay. I could see it being Far Cry 3. I mean, I've been playing that and it's the world's pretty big and there's lots of side quests everywhere. Gone back to the old formula where you can sort of do radio towers and stuff, so there's a lot to do. And that's a remaster, so...
Yeah, because this for some reason I can't say this.
Genuinely.
The genuinely challenging stages are chock full of secrets and will require multiple playthroughs to find everything they have to offer. Does that sound like
I don't know. I don't know now. I can't remember. Literally not a foggiest.
That's just what I think it is. That's just a guess.
Can we find out what it is, or do we not know?
Yeah, no, we can. I'll look up the Far Cry 3 reviews on Metacritic
on
and also find out. Far Cry 3 Classic Edition.
This challenging stages, I don't know about that.
I just forgot, so I ended up playing the game, which is quite funny. I don't even know.
We might never know.
We might never know. There's only 4. There's only 4 reviews for Far Cry 3 Classic Edition on here.
Might not be it then.
So it might not be. I don't know is the answer.
Maybe people on Twitter know that one. I've not got a clue.
Right, people on Twitter need to try and find out what this review is.
Got a clue.
That's the secret. Go and find out what the...
Then let us know on the bottom of the comments for the podcast.
Yeah, surely it is. Surely it is.
I mean, the challenging stages just sounds off to me. It just sounds like, unless I've not got there, of course, yeah, I might not have played them yet.
I'm just having a quick look to see, because I swear that's what it is, but I could be wrong. I think I just cut a bit out. But I don't.
Maybe we'll never know.
I know. So that's funny that I forgot what they are. Isn't it? It's just stupid.
Oh well.
I don't know. Unless it's actually the original Far Cry 3 that I've done it.
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't know what it is.
Oh well, that one's a mystery.
Although if I type in the genuinely challenging stages,
Might find it.
Because that's how I found the other one. I just typed in
the review.
I typed in the first sentence, which kind of brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say genuinely challenging stages.
Genuinely challenging stages.
That's a bit of a tongue tire for me, that one.
Yeah.
Right. Chock full. There's got to be, there can't be many ones on Google that are written like that. Chock full.
No.
Oh, there we go. Sonic Mania Plus.
Sonic Mania? We're so far off. That's so funny. Oh, of course. Didn't that come out today? No, yesterday.
I can't believe that.
That's embarrassing.
I'm going, it's Far Cry 3.
Definitely Far Cry 3.
Sonic Mania Plus. It couldn't be any further, could it?
Nightmare.
I've got one more, but I think we done it last week, so I'm not going to do that. So we'll just leave it then. Right, let's see who got that second one, because that was a classic. Quite literally.
So bad.
So yeah, that was funny. I can't believe I forgot it, but it worked out quite well because we found out the answers to both of them, and
just in a weird way.
And we got both of them wrong. So well done
did,
us. Well done us. Okay then, we managed to make our video disappear. We've got the answers to our own quiz.
Good podcast.
Yeah, that is fun. Okay, so I think it's time to wrap up before we go any more mad. It's the heat. The heat is making us mad.
Always blame the heat.
Or making me mad. It's not Rebecca's fault. None of it's all my fault. There we go. Okay then. That's it. We'll be back next week. Sorry we're a bit delayed this week, but at least we've done one, so that's a bonus. So yeah, we did do it. And we try and do them every week. We've not missed one for a while now, I don't think. So that's
Very good.
So we've been good. Okay, thanks for joining us everyone. Remember, check out our website, squarexo.co.uk. It's a quiet time of year, but we've still got loads of reviews on there, and it's only going to get busier as the year goes on. Twitter.com/square_XO. Make sure to give us a follow on there. Watch us on YouTube, listen on Podbean, iTunes and Spotify. And if you want to back us on patreon.com/squarexo, it'd be really brilliant. We'd love that. That would be very kind. What I was going to do, because we've got a competition, as you know, SquareXO July. You basically just share a screenshot from your PlayStation and just hashtag it SquareXO July, and then you get the chance to win, which is brilliant. You could get the chance to win a t-shirt. I don't have it here, but it's a PlayStation t-shirt. You can see a picture of it on Twitter. Yeah, I think we might have a few other prizes as well, and we're actually lining up some prizes for future competitions too, and hopefully we're also lining up some stuff for our Patreons. You currently get discounts from Insert Coin and Monster Shop, and obviously you've got the bonuses of the other items as well. But fingers crossed we'll be able to bring some more incentives soon. We're working on that, just like we're working on competitions, prizes for competitions for everyone as well. So yeah, and that's about it. I think we're gonna. If you're Patreon, you'll soon be getting a special little extended edition of the podcast where that's just for you. I think 10 minutes or so of video just for you. So look out for that soon. In the meantime, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.